We're live again. I think I'm getting the hang of this. I'll wait awkwardly in the streaming limbo while people join. Hey, there's one person. All right. What's going on, one person? Thank you for joining in. I'm going to be doing retouch tonight, as well as some photo critiques. So if anyone wants to send in a photo critique, let me know. If you want to join me on this live feed, I can send you a link. As long as you're not naked, I'll send you a link and we can chat if you want. I do reserve the right to kick you off if the conversation gets too weird. But yeah, today I'm going to retouch some old photos. So let me add this up. So I took these photos way long time ago. Let's see. This was created back in 2014. This was created at my house in a small, tiny bedroom. We have an upstairs apartment that I converted into a studio at the time, and we created these photos up there. The actual crown is made out of toys that we sculpted and painted black. This was sculpted by James. One of my friends, James, he sculpted these for us and created some really cool things. And this model is Olivia. And I invited her over, did some cool shots. And I've been kind of revisiting these photos back and forth. Yes, Jacob, not naked. I'm sorry. I know it's a Tuesday night, and usually that means Jacob Abercrombie is naked, but not on the webcam. Maybe on a different webcam. All right. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through. I think I'm going to remove this hand from the photo. Again, if you guys have any photos that you want to send me links to that you want critiqued, I'll critique them from a creative director standpoint. So as an art buyer or someone who would be interested in buying your photo for advertisement, I can kind of give you pointers on that and tell you what I would be looking for and what I would have to fix if I were to purchase that photo from you. So send me links, just not you, Jacob. Unless you got a good photo you took, that I'd love to critique that, just not a photo of you. All right, so I kind of went through a few of these photos before. These were all, like I said, 2014, I took these photos. I went through probably the night that I took them, starred a lot of these things that I liked. And then recently I redumped the photos onto a different hard drive and started going through them again, and probably removed a lot of the photos that I liked back in 2014, and then starred some other ones that I had skipped over and didn't retouch back then. So the lighting setup, I actually have a photo here of the pullback, and you can see in this, hold on. So sorry about that. I kicked the audio off. So this is actually a pullback of this setup, and you can see how tiny that little living room area is up there. This is actually the door to get in and out of that living room. I was shooting this with my Interfit EXD 400s. And yeah, and so I had a beauty dish here. And then I had a bare bulb with just a can over top of it. I call it a can, pointing right for the rim light, and then a reflector right here onto a white background. And that's pretty much the look that you get. So this is the rim light here, and then the fill light here, which is coming from the beauty dish. And I'm almost positive the beauty dish is socked. Yeah, has a sock over it. So yeah. All right, so the first thing I'm going to do is color correct this. I'm just going to go through. Again, thanks for watching. If you guys have any photos you want me to critique, send me a link. And then I will pull them up on my other monitor so I can make sure they're appropriate, and then pull them up on the screen if you want me to critique them. Higher the resolution, the better, because I'm going to zoom in and get real nitpicky. So if you want some of your work critiqued, send it over. All right, so the first thing I'm going to do is let me create a virtual copy so we can see what this looks like, because I color corrected this back in 2014. So I'm going to hit reset. That's straight out of camera. That's actually pretty good for me for straight out of camera, considering that my straight out of camera is typically underexposed. I try to underexpose a little bit to give me a little bit more details, but this one's pretty close to the color correction. All right, so I'll make this a little bit brighter. Sharpen this. If you hold down Alt while doing any of these values, you'll get some different options. So if you hold down Alt while doing the masking for that, you'll see that it's only selecting that. Some of these areas over here, you can see some of the spots that are popping up from my camera, my sensor being dirty. So I'm going to do right about there for the sharpness. That looks pretty good. All right, Control E opens this in Photoshop. Eventually. There it is. All right, so the first thing I'm going to do is probably remove the hand. I'm almost positive that it is bothering me, so I'm probably just going to get rid of this. It looks a little distracting. It's too far from her body. I'm just going to pop that over there and get rid of that. Pretty easy. Let me get my tablet working. Oh, Jacob, you could share this. You could share this in the Full Sail Hall of Fame group. It's all in good fun, man. Sorry, I just noticed your comment. I'm so sorry. All right, so let's zoom in a little bit here. We got rid of the hand because it was distracting. So boom, boom, there we go. I did notice some dust on this background, but I don't see it here. That looks pretty good. I'm going to go through and just remove some distractions. And before I go in and do some like frequency separation and stuff like that. So there's a million different ways to retouch photos, guys. So this is not the end all be all. And I'm not a high-end photo retoucher. I am only a guy who likes to retouch things that are distracting and make it look good. Not perfect. I did recently pay for a high-end retouch, and it was worth every penny. I think I spent about $20 for the photo, and it was well worth it. When I got the photo back, I was like, man, I wasted my money. I don't think this was worth it. I probably could have done this myself. And then I put my retouch over top of it, and I hated my retouch. Hated everything about it. So there are people that do this for a living, and that's all they do is retouch skin to make it look natural. I'm doing the quick down and dirty version of it. I wish I could play music, but then my stream will get banned. The music I listen to is copywritten. Why does it cost so much to get your photos taken? That's what clients like to say. Well, because I spend 45 minutes zoomed in on your face, removing every pore since birth. That's why. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Let me know if you have any photos you want to send me for critique. I'm going to go through and critique some photos. If you send them over, I'll load them up, let you know what I think. Let you know what you should fix. All right, let me get rid of this little piece of hair here. Good, pretty good, pretty good. That's just the first start. So typically I just go through and remove anything glaring. Let's see, before, after. It looks like she turns Italian on us. This would be a good NFT, right? Like, right? Anyway. If any of you guys jumped on the NFT bandwagon, selling any of your artwork as an NFT? All right, so now some frequency separation layers, which it looks like this thing just stopped working. There we go. Finished that time. All right, I'm also going to do some magic eyes. Dion Baker, good work. You definitely get into detail with your edits, blemish removal. Yes, I do, however, try and when it's professional headshots or something that's not like it. All right, if it's professional headshots or a promotional image, something that's not artistic, I try to have a rule of thumb of not making it too over retouched or unrealistic. So if it's something that won't be there in 2 weeks, I remove it. So a pimple, anything like that, I remove. And I try not to make them look fake. I try to make it as realistic as possible. Just so, you know, people, they have expectations, and a lot of people will say, oh, I want it like super retouched. I do it on my phone. It looks real. And it's like, no, it doesn't look real. That does not look real on your phone. Those photos that you're uploading with your blurred face through your app don't look real. I don't care who you think you're kidding. or trying to fool, but that's not really you. And people know it. So, all right. So first I'm going to go through and I'm going to retouch some of the eyes here. So I'm going to add some white to this area over here and lighten this up. So I'm going to go to the opposite side of my catch light here, and I'll probably go about 10% because this can get a little carried away. And you don't want to go too crazy on this. You just want to bring it out just a little bit. And I'm going to go over, I did have, I had my photos critiqued recently, and they had mentioned that they like only one catch light in the eyes. This one I managed to get one catch light. Sometimes I get 2 or 3. Catch lights are really details that only photographers notice. But it's the reason why most of us try to shy away from ring lights so you don't look like an android. I'm going to darken some of this in here. Yeah, we probably want to get rid of that little black spot here. So frequency separation, what it does is it separates the texture from the tone. It allows you to go in and get really detailed. So if we wanted to remove just the texture, we would do the texture layer. Just the tone, we would do the tone layer, and it won't mess with any of the texture. And I'm going to tone this down just a little bit here. I'm starting to lose some of my eyelashes here, which is not good. I'm going to go back to that in a minute. Now, Photoshop did add their new Neuro Filters, which has a photo, like a face retouch, which isn't that bad. I actually like it. Sometimes it's better than others, but so what I'm going to do here is on this layer here, correcting tones, I'm actually going to sample some skin tones down here, and I'm going to bring a brush up here, and I'm just going to lightly blend more of her makeup so it doesn't just go into that darker color right away. And I'm going to do the same thing here. So resample, because this skin tone's different. Resample there. Like that. And I think the eyes might be a little too much, guys. So yeah, that's way too much. So let's dial that back some there. I'm also going to add a dodge and burn layer here. I know that's not what this is typically used for, but I'm going to use it that way. So let's grab a white brush. So right now I'm just bringing out some of the highlights on this crown. We do a little bit of the hair. That was a mistake. All right, I need to try to even out some of her tones. So let's go in here. Do you still have the large art piece you did with the toys? No, I do have all the toys, but I had to break down the art piece, and because when we moved from our studio, I didn't want to throw away the toys because they were almost impossible to find. But I do have it, and I plan on building it again and recreating it because I think it's a great. It was a fun piece to make. I just don't know if I ever photographed it properly. And what Jacob was talking about was I took a bunch of old toys and put them on a piece of plywood to make like a backdrop for models to stand in front of old retro toys. And it was a cool idea. It was very hard to translate into a photo. All right, let me show you what the new Photoshop Neural Filters do. So I'm going to go back to this version. I'm going to, actually, I don't have to duplicate it because I'm going to make a new layer with my mask. So Neuro Filter. I'm going to turn on skin smoothing. And Photoshop's going to do its whatever it does on this filter. And then, so here's what I don't like about this skin smoothing. It's good. It works. It is smoothing the skin. The texture is fine. I don't think these adjustments do anything. I haven't seen any difference between cranking this all the way up or bringing it all the way down. I legitimately think that these sliders in here are just for show. So maybe it makes it feel like you're doing something, but I can't see a difference. Wait. Maybe it's just that it takes so long to generate. No, it's the exact same. It's the exact same. I'm convinced these do nothing. Still loading. Nope, didn't do anything. So I'm sure they'll fix that eventually. Now we're going to do new layer, duplicated layer mask. So this is going to create a layer mask on top of it with just the retouched skin that filter made. So that's that. Now, if you were to use this is what their mask looks like. It's insane. It's a pretty wild mask. What I like to go in and do is take the layer, go on the layer mask, grab the black brush, bring it to 50 or 25%, and remove it right here. For some reason, it always tries to take out the nose. We want to keep those details. And it's not around her eyes. For some reason, it feels like it. All right, I'm going to bring that above here because I'm going to just kind of mix that with my previous retouch, and then I'm going to scale it down, the opacity around 60%. That looks pretty good. Next, what I want to do is select the background layer. I'm going to go select subject because I want to separate her from the background. All right, now I'm going to add this layer mask to my frequency separation. So basically what we have now is her cut out from the background. And this is where it allows us to work with our background separate from our foreground. So I am going to pull in some textures for the background just to give it a little bit more drama. What if we went with, let's see what this one does. So I don't like that. You can't have your background as detailed and textured if your foreground image goes out of focus. So if you have a shallow depth of field on your foreground photo, you need to tone down the texture on the actual background texture that you're adding, or else it will look off. That's kind of cool. I wonder what it would look like if, let me find a sky photo. Blue sky. Wonder what would happen. All right. That's a little cool, maybe. I'm not sure. That's kind of cool too. Let's see. Let me raster this. See, I think it's the texture that's not looking so good. So let's get rid of that. And let's blur this background a little bit. Let me try and find another photo. I'll bring this over here so you guys can see what I'm doing here. I wonder what this would look like. That'd be too high, huh? Let's try a couple of these. Ooh, this one's cool. Let's do this one. The angles are off, but if we just wanted this as like kind of like a background, like a painted background. Nope. Let's try this. See, the part that's not selling it for me is the shoulder right here. That's where we're getting a little, it's getting lost. I think the hair and the head looks pretty good. But right here, it just doesn't match the lighting. It kind of disappears in there. And that's the tricky part with composites too, is it has to be a marriage. They have to work together. Which is easier to do when you plan out a shoot, but not when you just do it on the fly. Thanks again for tuning in, guys. If you guys have any questions, let me know. If you want to send any photos to be critiqued, I will critique your photos. Just send me a link and I'll load them up and let you know what I think. All right. What if we did... trying to go for like a painted tapestry kind of feel in the background. Yeah, I still think the shoulder is what's making this not sell as much. All right, we're getting rid of it. I don't like it. But we are going to go in. Let's do a color lookup for the background. Maybe we can bring in, make the background a little bluer. Like so. I also want to go into my Infinite Luma tool. I'm going to create some highlights and pop those out some. Oh, that looks good. Now I'm going to create some shadow masks here. And for this, I want to do a lookup color again and add a LUT to parts of that. Great. Now I'm going to do a black and white layer. This is all color correction at this point. So bring down some of the red tones. A little bit of the yellow. We're going to go luminosity on this one. Pretty good. Now I'm going to add All right. So this is for fun. It might be cool to do, what if we did like, let me try this. So I'm going to add a glow to these lights, these background shapes that I just added. Sorry that this takes a while. The resources being used for the streaming takes up quite a bit on the computer I'm working on. I got to get a hand on one of those. Evolve Technology local in Orlando just bought a bunch of Unreal media servers that are beasts, and I got to get my hands on one of those for editing because it eats through 4K footage like it's nothing in real time. So these photos would be nothing for that thing. You just pump right through them. So while that's loading, thank you guys for watching again. Let me know if you guys have any questions, if you want to send in any photos for me to critique or criticize, that would be great. Did you like, yeah, this is a good plug. They did just get amazing Unreal servers that I'm super jealous that they have. So, because I want to edit with those. All right, going back to this. Look at that. All right. So I kind of like the way that looks, but I am going to go in and redo the mask because I don't want any of her face to be glowing. Boom. All right. What if we put like almost like I don't know. Let me see if I could find. Oh, this is loading for you guys. All right. Maybe it would be cool to put like a Blade Runner-esque city in this, like just inside this. I have no idea how this is going to look, by the way. Completely making this up as we go. Let me just try. I'm going to try this photo. So we're going to go behind our rectangles here. And we're going to drag and drop in a skyline. Like that. Now what I want to see is if it looks cool just on the inside of that shape. That's kind of interesting. That kind of looks like she's in some kind of like I don't like a spaceship, or not a spaceship, like a really high sky rise from like the Fifth Element. Like she's looking out. So, but that would mean that this stuff in the background would be more out of focus. So we're gonna go filter, blur gallery. I use the blur gallery. I think their blurs look way better. And I'll blur that background just a little bit more. Now, if we were, let's see. Wonder if I can make it look like maybe there's like a reflection on the window. What do you guys think? Blurred or not blurred? I think not blurred. Blurred? I don't know. Or not blurred. The good thing is it's a smart object, which means that I can turn that on and off whenever I want. So, all right. That option I don't like. So let's do this might also look cool too. It's like this really white futuristic background. That looks kind of trippy too. There's too many options, guys. You guys got to chime in. This is going to be my new NFT. So I'm going to sell this on the market for $56 million, guys. Well, if we do something with the Tokyo skyline, I feel like it needs a reflection from the inside of the house. So if we were to do that, we'd need something like, I don't know if that's futuristic enough. No. All right, one thing I know I have to do is I have to go in and clean up this mask. So let me show you guys how to do that. This is not good. And I would totally call you guys out for not fixing this stuff here. So I'm going to take a brush, probably a little bit. I'm going to go with a hard edge brush and probably 100%. I'm going to come in and clean up these little spots here. All right. Those were standing out. That would have got me in trouble. Got a couple more up here. All right. Now, another thing we can do too is if you control click on that layer mask here, it will select the layer. Then I'm going to go to modify, contract. I'm going to contract by 2 pixels. So what that's going to do is take the mask that I made here and it's going to pull it in 2 pixels. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit Control Shift I, and it's going to reverse, it's going to invert that. I'm going to take 100% black brush and I'm going to run it right along the edge of this here. And that's going to get rid of that white glow that this black object had. Just like that. And I found another one of those little spots. This spot here is just kind of gross, huh? And this doesn't matter. We get rid of that. That's pretty good. What's my editing setup? Like on my table kind of thing? Is that like how I'm editing? So I've got a tablet right in front of me with my keyboard in front of that. And then I've got a Stream Deck over here for shortcuts. And I've got this fancy mouse with a bunch of buttons that you can program macros. I've got one of those fancy PC gamer mouse and keyboard, you know, the ones with the rainbows that just keep going. I used to have like Loop Deck stuff, and they discontinued a lot of that stuff. So there's all kinds of stuff you can get, but pretty simple. It's just a tablet, an Intuos tablet, paper edition in front of me with a pen, and go from there. This is a cool tablet, though. It has an attachment that you can. So this is the pen. This tablet actually has a ink pen that you can use, where you clip on a piece of paper and then you draw on top of the paper with their pen, and it actually translates that into drawings on your computer. So it's pretty cool. I think I want to do a second layer of glow for the foreground. So what if we did... Now, if these are in the foreground, they're going to be bigger. Let's try this. Or what if they were like, all right, I have no idea what's going to happen here. So this could be a mistake. Still loading. Hope everyone's having a great Tuesday night. A Tuesday night that feels like a Wednesday night to me for some reason. It's too much, guys. Let's dial it back a little bit. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn off these other ones. And I kind of want it to look like this isn't giving me the look I want. I think it's way too much. All right, let's get that a second. Thank you, everyone watching. I appreciate it. This computer used to be fast. And then you add all these plugins and it just starts creeping along. This one's painful, huh? So, Jacob, if you're still there, did you share it in the Hall of Fame, the Full Sail Hall of Fame? Hey, guys. Like, they should do more live streams over there. Yeah, that's pretty good. All right. I need to mask this out one more time. Thank you. Thank you for sharing. So, should tell current students and grads what you're doing here and why. So, I am making a photo. I'm making a mess, is what I'm doing. I'm practicing my retouching by retouching photos that aren't required to be delivered to clients. I think this is an important thing to do when you do creative stuff and you're constantly chasing after the dollar. All of your work is dependent on clients, so you play it safe. So what I try to do to hold me accountable is do the live feeds, retouch, and come up with something that I probably wouldn't have done if a client was paying me. It allows you to fail with no consequence other than being embarrassed for just wasting time like this, because I don't like that blue glow at all. So we are going to delete that. And I'm okay with showing the mistakes because it's important to show that you mess up, you can delete it, then head back and start over. So I think this is pretty good. And I think anything we add from here on out is probably going to take away. I think what we can do too is maybe add some like light, some more ambience or atmosphere in here. So I'm going to do a screen layer with this light, and I'm going to hit Control L for my levels. And I might actually switch this. This is kind of a cool concept because we can even do like, let's see, sunset. Let me find a sunset photo from this stock photo site. So this could almost be like a futuristic like screen on the wall where you could load up like a fake window or something. I'm just trying to find the right photo that would fit. Maybe something like this. Or this. All right, let's try these out. Yeah, this could be like a, I don't know. I could see this going even further with. So we've got like a city background. You can even see like adding like some texture onto the walls here to make it look like it's the inside of like a, actually I have those. Let me track those down real quick because that would be kind of cool. Neon. So yeah, so my name's Rich Johnson. I'm a Full Sail grad. So if you guys are listening in the Full Sail Hall of Fame group or the alum group, I live local in Florida, stayed local after Full Sail, and then started my own photo company back in 2006. And we've been kicking ass ever since, Jacob, because that's what we do. We create things. But I appreciate the help, Jacob, always. All right, let's see. I've got these cool concrete textures that are a part of another Photoshop document that I'm tracking down real quick, and then I'll load it in here. Now, maybe it might look good if if this thing wasn't angled, so it didn't look like the corner of a window. If it was just straight across. I don't know. There's like a million things you can do with this. I like where it's going, though. All right. I don't teach VR marketing. I do marketing, but I don't teach it. I guess you got to practice what you preach. So you threw me off guard, man. I wasn't expecting this to be like a, like a seminar. Who are you? My name's Rich. Just a guy who likes Photoshop. Like to take pictures. All right, let me see if I found this. I think I may have. That might not be it. Hold on one second. Obey. Here we go. Nope. Close. There we go. That's a plug. That's a plug if I've ever seen one. That kind of wall would be great. Concrete panels or that. Oh, that one's pretty good too, but this one's awesome. All right, so we're going to pull this over onto here. Yes, I don't care. Put it in there. Bring that below. We're going to scale it up. Can't even see it back there, huh? Let's go. It's there a little bit. It's too much afterglow, so it's just a little bit of texture in the background. I think all these other ones would be too much. All right. I think I'm going to leave well enough alone. I think that looks pretty good, guys. So one of the last things I like to do is, one, I'm going to save it. Let me add these back on. And we're going to save it so that we don't lose our work. TIFF is fine. This is going to take a hot minute because this is a big file. All right. So once it's saved, all I'm going to do is I can actually do it while it's saving and probably risk it crashing, but I'm going to add a sharpness layer on here through a high pass action through the Retouch Academy. And that's just going to sharpen things up. Hack sharp. Pop balloons with that. So sharp. All right, guys. So doesn't looks like anyone sent me any photos to be critiqued, which is fine because I just kind of pulled that out of nowhere. Maybe next time. I'll make an announcement before we go live next week. Basically, if you guys want any photos critique, send them to me. I'll hop on, give you guys some pointers. Or if you don't want me to critique them on here, I'll critique them privately and send you feedback on it. I'm always available to give feedback. I did have some, you can email me as well. My email's on my website, spectaclephoto.com. Jacob, I did have someone from Full Sail today or yesterday send me a message, which was kind of cool. Not from Full Sail, but they were a grad, sent me a message asking for some information. And I try to reply to everyone. So if you guys have any questions about photography industry, starting a business in Florida with a film degree, you can send me a message and I'll cover that stuff for you guys as well. So any advice I have, I'm willing to share with you guys. So thanks for tuning in. This is the photo we created. Let me zoom in. I'll turn off all this other crap so you can focus just on that. And that's what we made today. Out of nowhere, just made it up. So hope you guys enjoyed. Have a good night.